Now I'm not going to go through all of these here, but let's kind of hit the 1194, and then we'll start mixing and matching some of these as well. So let's hit the 1194 and bring in the positive component. There we go. Let's try adjusting our delay clock a little lower. And see, our clock noise is now audible there at 5, which is a little different because in 3328, oh, it's 28, I'm sorry, I've been saying 3326, I believe. Because my eyes need some adjusting as well. Alright. Very interesting tones. Now let's go a little further down. Very audible delay clock right there. However, I'm kind of a little more partial to this type sound right there. Sounds almost kind of reverby in that little region. If I wanted to keep that, but maybe take out some of the clock noise, I could then use my CV out to a filter and then kind of remove some of it if I wanted to. Alright. Let's go all the way down to the bottom over here. Let's hear it with only output 1. Very crunchy, distorted sound. Sustained tone, like a drone. Let's bring it back up. Okay, so that's 1194 in the positive direction. Let's bring it over into the 0 position, and then back into the negative component of that. And we're at about 5. Let's bring it down slower. Alright. Let's go a little higher around the 8 position. There we get kind of a nice little flangey sound. Okay. So now we know kind of basics what the two extremes sound like, the 396, the 3328, and then the 1194 sound like. So we got a little bit of the whole spectrum. I haven't done the whole spectrum yet, but I wanted to just hit the major parts, the top, the bottom, and the middle. We'll kind of be looking at a little bit more of the other sort of realms of the spectrum, so we get a full spectrum by the end of all the segments. But we are going to do a short demonstration of feedback here, just so you understand kind of what that's going to do for us. And again, this is being produced by the 396 going into feedback back into the signal. So let's bring all of these into the 0 position. And, well, let's choose something we haven't done before. 1726, we'll bring up the positive component of that. And then let's add a little feedback to it. We're going in the positive direction. Okay, so we have a little bit of feedback. Let's add a little more. And then let's bring our delay clock down just a little bit. Just so we get an idea of what that sounds like. So let's hear that without the original signal. Very distorted, kind of like in a pipe or a steel chamber of some sort. Let's bring back output 2, which is our original signal. Alright, let's go a little farther in the positive position. Definitely getting a little more gritty type, distortion type effects going on here. A little bit of audible clock noise, but in my opinion, it doesn't sound too distracting. Let's try a little lower delay clock. And that's a very nice sound in my opinion. Let's hear it without the original and output 2. Let's patch that back in. Let's bring it all the way down. Definitely audible clock noise there, but the effect, in my opinion, is one of a kind. Let's bring up a little more feedback, and I may have to back off a little bit here in a moment because kind of like a 60s or 50s sci-fi type sound. Let's bring the delay clock all the way down to the bottom. So right there, let's take a listen to what our signal sounds like without the original mixed back in. Definitely unrecognizable right there. And then let's bring our original back in. Bring the delay clock back up. And then we're back to kind of a level ground. All right, so I'm going to bring that back to 0. And let's maybe explore the 2790 in our example of negative feedback. So I'm going to bring this up in the positive component, and I'm going to bring the feedback in the negative direction, and then I'm going to just play with my delay clock a little bit. So technically out of spec, but definitely an interesting sound. I love this sound over here. I love kind of the region over here, or at least on this side. I like the region over here, but this is my favorite over here, the big crushing type delay feedback effects that you can get from that side over here. Love it. Let's bring it all the way down. Very interesting, kind of nice little ringing sounds coming into our mix. I'm gonna actually bring my distribution down to get some of the lower tones. And let's bring the negative feedback all the way in. And eventually it can be a little overwhelming, so I might have to back off a little bit. Gotta love the negative feedback. So, hopefully you've gotten a good demonstration of just the basic stages of this module and kind of what the delay clock is going to do for us this time around. And then, of course, a little demonstration of the feedback. We'll do a little bit more of this continuing on in the next segment. we're going to actually maybe try mixing and matching a few of the different stages together, and then maybe even start getting 2 mixes going on in here. Once we've completed that section, then we'll jump into maybe a little bit of modulation, and then maybe even a little demonstration of the individual outputs of this module. So stay tuned for that, and hope that this was useful for you. Thanks for watching.